It truly goes against everything that's Southern in me to say I hate making chili, but it seems like such a ridiculous amount of things to just taste okay. It just feels so intense. And I was even declaring in the group chat how much I love casseroles the other day for some reason. I don't remember what the topic was.
I don't
think
even remember you saying that.
I said the phrase, I'm a slut for casserole.
You did. But is a chili a casserole?
No, it's not, but it's very
You're just
held
saying it's
very
a similar
sacred in
process.
these parts. Well, yeah, kind of. You chop a million things, assemble them in one gloop, and then you cook it. So yeah, kind of. So yeah. Anyway, I was supposed to be on here earlier, but I said I was cooking, and then when I looked, what I agreed to cook was chili, and they were like, "Just let this sit for an hour. Let this sit for 2 hours," and I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
"Frick."
I would never.
Yeah, I would don't. I mean, I told you it's like I cook every like 5th year, and
I
so
like that you looked back like Stuart listened as if this is not being recorded.
he knows he has to do it. The
You had
whole
that
other
like
4 years.
guilty like, is Stuart gonna hear what I'm about to say? But like he will,
And well, he lives
and
it
will
as
many
well.
others.
I was gonna say, and it's his life, so he's not gonna hide it from him. Christy, you look like we have to get you a new computer. You
I
legit
know.
look like you're in a hostage and maybe ghost situation.
I
Like
took
you
my
had been held hostage by the ring, the girl in the ring. This is what it would look like.
laptop in to Best Buy because there's not an Apple store in St. Pete. And I looked on Apple and it said that they at Best Buy could look at it. Well, the guy was the least helpful human being I've ever interacted with. And he was like, when we ran the test, it said that your battery is not functioning properly, so you need a new battery. I think that really you need a new system upgrade, and that's going to cost you $180 because I need the like Best Buy package as opposed to my Apple Care package, which the battery would be through. And I was like, feels like you're
Trying
just
to
trying to get
sell
me to
something.
pay for something. But either way, like I would have to leave my laptop with them for multiple days / 2 weeks. And I do not have the ability to do that because I have to work. And so I was like, well, this is going to have to happen at
And
a later date.
get a job at a bar like me, and you don't need a laptop anymore. I live half my life on this computer and then go work at a bar, and then I come back to the computer and it's like, what am I doing? If it doesn't involve like pints, I don't know what's happening anymore. So it's truly a
Yeah.
whiplash. Hey guys, welcome to Theology in the Rocks, where Christy is back. And I was fine the whole time.
Leah didn't send me any,
I
like,
didn't
please
message
come home.
her. I
None
didn't
of
send
that.
her
Mm-mm.
Marco Polos.
Mm-mm.
I was
No,
very
she was
bored
fine. I was
for
fine.
sure. I
I
was
was
totally
not.
fine. Christy mostly, I thought when she would send me video messages, I thought you were like drunk in a lot of them, but I think now it was just you were just real tired. I know it was traumatic for you to be away from me, but stop crying, Christy,
Hold
please.
on a second. I want to try
It's getting embarrassing. Well, in the meantime, I'll tell you guys what we're drinking. I have no clue what Christy's drinking because we went rogue today. I am drinking, as per my seltzers, you guys know I love, in my Edinburgh glass while I wear a Glasgow t-shirt, well, sweatshirt that I live in. You'll know it well. It's on the internet. There's this beer brand, and I think they do have it in the US because I saw a sign for it recently for Tennent's. It's a very Scottish beer, and Tennent's did this thing where they had like all the different major cities in Scotland. They'd do glasses for them, and we all periodically stole them all because when Jesus said, "Don't steal," no, when the Old Testament said, "Don't steal," I wasn't talking about Tennent's glasses. Just to clarify. Just to clarify. So I have an Edinburgh and an Aberdeen one and a Stirling one, but I don't have a Glasgow one. Were you here during that whole campaign? Or there?
I was not, no. Or at least I don't know about it.
Well, it would say like Edinburgh. So this was Edinburgh is 4 universities, 2 football teams, and 2 grave robbers and a little dog. And if you don't know about the grave robbers, that's a story. But it would just like say things about the town, like Arthur's Seat, stag do's, and tram don'ts, because there was a big tram fiasco there. Christy, no. Turn off something. Dear Jesus. woman.
There we go.
And stag do is another word for basically a bachelor party or bachelorette party. What the hell are you doing? Guys, if you could see this,
The
Christy,
links I have to go to.
wait, where are you going? We're podcasting.
I know. No, I just put it on a different device so that it would work and I would stop freezing.
Okay, so you're okay now. Doctor,
I'm fine.
Okay, just making sure.
Everything is fine.
Anyway, so I'm drinking seltzer. What? I just got through talking about glasses for.
I know, I heard you. It was a really good chat about glasses.
Shut up! Shut up! You left me, and what? I don't. And I was staring at it. Anyway, Slab Seltzer. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking vodka.
God,
Yep.
we're on different journeys.
That's my journey. No, it's I got these like flavored soda waters at Winn-Dixie, and this one is blueberry lemonade. So it's vodka and blueberry lemonade soda water. It's very tasty. It's because I wanted a seltzer, but I don't have any seltzers, and so I like homemade myself a seltzer. It's
It
a
sounds
lot
like you
stronger.
made yourself a vodka, a flavored vodka,
Flavored vodka.
which is we've already been on that journey, and it was called 20s.
I was gonna say it's reminiscent of when I used to drink vodka Crystal Lights.
So gross, so gross. Although I did get emotionally triggered whenever I heard Shabuzi sing about me and Jack Daniels have a history. Every time that line comes on, everyone's like, "Me and Jack Daniels got a history," and I'm like, I get kind of green. I'm like, "Me and Jack Daniels do have a history," and then I just get sad.
I don't have a history with Jack Daniels.
Oof.
I know, I'm positive that I've had Jack Daniels in my life, but I don't remember it happening.
If you went to college, you've had Jack Daniels.
Well, no, because that's not what we drank in college. We drank a lot of Goldschlager
Okay,
and
we went to very different colleges.
and I'm trying to think what else we drank. That was during my heavy Midori phase. So I was drinking a lot of neon green drinks. And then
What in the world?
and when I was right out of college, I started drinking Jameson. And I was like intense about that I would only drink Jameson. And I called it JMO.
I am definitely turning green again, thinking about the combo of those drinks.
Anyway, so I don't really
Midori,
like
Jameson, and Goldschlager.
I feel like surely at some point I had Jack Daniels. I don't know. I don't remember it.
You
But
don't usually remember it till the next day, and then you know real hard. I mean, we just always had like the bog standard sort of like, and down here that's Jack Daniels and like Smirnoff.
okay.
That was like we didn't have Goldschlager.
We were really into Goldschlager and like weirdly felt like how fancy are we? While we lived in Greeley, Colorado, the least fancy city in the world. And we were like very proud of ourselves for drinking Goldschlager.
I was drinking that in Rome, Georgia, which is home to our favorite woman representative, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That's terrible.
And if you ever talk to me and say, you know, you're even the slight bit conservative, which probably won't happen, but if you do come up to me and say that, I'll say, look, it could have gone a lot worse. It really could.
I just want to commend you on the very nice display of your two books, Bad Theology and Bad Theology in COVID.
I know I don't have my other one up there though, because I still can't find it. Ah!
Poor.
I found it. I just found it.
She's. It's right there. It's right there.
I got my 3 up. Holy crap!
There we go.
So weird. I've been looking for that book forever. Wow.
That felt like a setup. Like I set you up to be like, oh my God, I just found this book I had conveniently placed somewhere.
So
but it was real, everybody.
It was, I really did just find it. Can't make up that kind of excitement. Just ask Stuart. Jing, ding. So this is the book that I told on the podcast I got back because it was to my grandma.
Oh, yes.
And then coming full circle, my newest book is dedicated
to your grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah.
There we go.
I love that.
Cool. Yeah, well, look at that. Let's put them in order because life needs organization.
Right. No, I like the other way better. The bad theologies have to be together.
The only thing, there was a bit of a shine on this guy, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's better. I like that. Okay. Good thing none of this is live and no one else can see us. And she dropped the book.
As long as you're happy, Christy, that's all I'll live for. So.
It is all that matters. That is all that matters.
Yes, they're there.
Hey, before we forget, because we have a tendency to do that, we did our second book club meeting recently. And if you are not on Instagram, our third book club meeting is going to be in July, and we're doing Parable of the Sower. And we're also doing a giveaway that you are able to be entered into 1 month of free access to book club with us. And you have to like our Instagram. So you're going to have to just get on Instagram if you're not already there.
I have to do things. Please, but please. Yeah, so on Saturday at noon, I will around noon, I can't
Mm-hmm.
promise anything. I'll go live and I will pick a name. I'll just put all the names because I'm 100. I'm going to put them in an actual jar.
She's going to write them down with her hand.
I'm going to write them down with my hand in a thing called a pen
Yeah, on a
or
piece of
a
paper.
pen and a
A
piece of paper.
pen or a pencil,
Pen. And
maybe a crayon.
maybe a crayon might do. And then I'm going to pick it and then I'm going to show it to you. And then
Yeah.
that person gets to join the book club. So, but if you have liked it, go ahead and get the book. And if you haven't, you should read it anyway. It's Octavia
Yeah.
Butler, which I am sad to say I've never read any of her stuff. So this will
I
be a
haven't either. So this is going to be good for both of us. I'm very excited about this one. Shout out to Marvin because he suggested it.
shout out to Stuart for being in the book group too. You get to meet Stuart if you're in the book group.
You get to meet Stuart. You get to meet Marvin. You get to hang out with us. It's a good time. We had a really good time. I really enjoyed our
I
discussion of
really like the last one a lot.
Slaughterhouse 5. It was great. I am still like very seriously thinking about doing a reread of the book because I enjoyed it, but I read it really fast. And I kind of want to read it again a little slower.
We hadn't, it was a book that none of us had read. And I
Yeah.
think all of us except Stuart had read 1984 before. And it definitely is a different vibe when you haven't read it because there were some things we kind of came into the book group and we were like, and by the way, it's actually like a book group. It's better than my book group here. And I know some of the girls listen. Shout out to Amy and Sharon, but we don't talk about the book anymore. We just drink wine. It's a wine club, which
Hmm.
is fine. But this is an actual, and we still drink, some of us on this book club, but
But we don't like
we talk about the book.
it's not a prerequisite. We talk
No,
about the
not
book.
at all. Not at all.
Yeah, it's a good book club. We're having a great time. So yeah, so go like our post or just go to Patreon and go ahead and join. Um And as we've said before, if you don't have time to be part of the actual live Zoom book club, you can also sign up to watch the videos later because they're entertaining. I mean, you're already listening to us talk, but now you get a couple of other people, so it's a bonus.
And plus, because we were talking about war, we got pretty like, I like, yeah. There's a lot
Yeah,
of there's a lot of emotional stuff too. I think in there that
there
we
is.
need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, do that. Also, in news, Christy and I are getting reunited this summer.
Woohoo! We're so excited.
Excited.
We get to have a Christy and Leah birthday bash in Charlotte.
Heck yeah, y'all.
Yeah. It's going to be a
And
good
Fourth
time.
of July, and then Christy's heading to Colorado to leave me again because she doesn't go to Colorado enough.
I
But
don't. I
you,
would go to Colorado so much more if I could.
she goes to Colorado infinitely more than I go to Georgia, and that's where my parents are.
My parents are not in Colorado.
I know that's the thing. She's always up there. I think Colorado people just don't leave. They just
Well,
like,
why would we? It's so lovely.
yep, it is. It's very nice. Not in the wintertime. Anyway, so yeah, no, it is a nice place. I would like to visit it in the summer sometime, if
Yes.
possible.
I almost was going to drag you out there this summer, but I decided to give you a year break because you were just there in October.
Yeah. Also, I need to. Christina took a rather long vacation last summer, if you guys
Yeah.
remember, and that credit card still. So yeah, we're gonna come up here and hang out, celebrate my birthday, celebrate Christy's birthday, and then celebrate America's birthday. Although right
Yep.
now, America might be getting a little lower of a birthday
We
hurrah.
might forget about America's birthday for a minute.
We might celebrate America's birthday by reading the Constitution to America.
You know what we should do is celebrate America's birthday. Have you heard about this? By joining the free online Harvard courses teaching
Yeah.
about the Constitution. I think that's a great way to celebrate America's birthday.
Harvard's so badass. And also I know they
Harvard
have
is-
more money than like anything, so they're very privileged. But I appreciate them. Did you
I
see today
appreciate what they're
that
doing. Yeah.
the Department of Education revoked Columbia University's accreditation? that just
No.
happened
What? Oh,
for
Jesus.
anti-Semitic
No.
stuff.
My
Yeah,
God, it's a nightmare. Everything is a nightmare.
wake me up.
Mm,
You know that Green Day song, "Wake Me Up When December Ends" or something? Just wake me up
September ends.
once.
When September ends.
Wake me up whenever this is all over.
Wake me up
Another
in
thing
10 years, maybe.
in 10 years
Maybe
time,
things will be better.
what a time to be alive. Yeah, this book got banned, the one we're reading, because it dealt with classism, racism, and climate change. So apparently that was enough to get it banned.
I mean, the
Let's
things that will get your book banned are absurd.
My book,
It's
I feel like,
absurd.
is already banned and no one's banned it.
Your book
Is
should be banned.
probably banned
Probably.
for being
Somebody,
mean,
I'm sure, hates your book. I'm
for
sure.
sure. But like,
Somebody probably hates my book.
I want them to ban it for me being mean to Christianity
Mm,
because I feel like that's what I'd get banned for.
yeah, that is what you get banned for. Because
Ban
what is it?
me
They're trying to
for
make some law about not being mean to Christianity, which is like, come on. Like, Christianity is the most privileged religion in this country. And I say this as a person who is very Christian. I love being a Christian. I have no desires to leave the Christian faith. But like, I have not one time in my life been persecuted for being a Christian, and we need to just stop pretending.
Don't be mean to Christianity. I have a T-shirt that says "Dissent is patriotic," and I feel
That's
like
a
that
good one.
it is, and I feel like it's a good one.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a good t-shirt for this year.
I don't want people to think I'm like talking about January 6th because that was illegal. I'm
That was also not
dissent.
that was insurrection.
This is like writing bad theology is dissent against some aspects of Christianity, which
Yeah.
sadly are well documented and historical.
Yes.
So, um, that's on us, guys. Woo! Anyway, woo! So that's fun. Fly me away.
This all took a turn.
Turd.
Anyway, Leah and I are reuniting. It's gonna be a good summer.
It's gonna be so fun, super fun, and I'm gonna get to see my niece Penny is
Yeah,
coming.
Penny's coming for her first North Carolina trip.
We'll also has she. You said she's not met a cat yet. She doesn't have to meet mine.
She has not like interacted. She has met in the like sense that she has seen cats with her eyes because
With
there are several.
because I Beethoven is not going to do anything but stare at her because one he can't hear her bark. He's not a fighter.
I am a little worried that she's going to traumatize Salem. But
Salem, you'll never see Salem. Salem's not coming. Bless your heart. How many times did you see Salem last time you were there?
I saw Salem. I've seen both of the. I'm trying to remember how many times I've been to your place. Every time I've been to your place, I get one glance at Salem, and it's usually like because I've come out of a room and he thought I wasn't
Yep.
gonna do that, and then he looks at me like this.
Salem is my love, but he doesn't like people, so you don't have to worry about Salem. Salem is going to be in a closet somewhere for
Yeah.
a amount of days.
No, so there's a lot of feral cats or outdoor cats. It's a mixture around my house, and they're out quite often. And so Penny has seen them, and I have no idea what she thinks about them because she kind of just looks at them like, what is this creature in front of me? She doesn't bark at them like she does at dogs because, like, when she sees another dog, she loses her entire mind and she's like, must kill that dog. And then we have to like go, and I have to be like, I'm so sorry. But when she sees the cats, she mostly just like stares at them like, what is that thing?
Honestly,
I don't
Beethoven
know
would probably do
if
the
it's
same thing.
yeah, like, I don't know if it's because like, they're closer to her size, and so she's just, like, friend or foe, I don't know, but she just stares at them. We haven't and then one time, there was a cat on my patio, and I had a little collar on, and I was holding her because I didn't want her to, like, try to run at it or anything, and I was trying to, like, get close enough to see what was on the tag, and so I was, like, holding her and bending over, and she was still just kind of staring at the cat. So, like, there's a hope with the
We can do an
cats, but
experiment and see.
yeah.
Plus, I have to
Anyway,
keep the cats away because Christy is allergic, and
deeply
I have
allergic.
a giant fluff ball of a cat.
You have a very large fluffy
I
cat.
like beef fur everything, and Zero will be going on summer vacation because
Because
we'll be better
Penny
off.
hates him.
We'll be in summer camp.
Much as Leah and I want to form a commune, our animals don't
Our
necessarily.
animals, we hit roadblock after roadblock of people trying to keep us apart, and now
I
it's
know.
animals.
It's the animals. It's ridiculous.
Penny is more difficult than Zero, I would say. Although Zero's bigger.
Yeah. I think,
She doesn't like daycare, which would be a real blow for us if he didn't like that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Penny just is, I mean, she's reactive a bit. And so, like, there's certain things that you have to just, like you do with all reactive dogs, like,
Yeah.
not put them in certain situations. But she's just very protective. And like you experience this because she's very protective of me specifically. So if I'm not present, she's usually better with people than when I'm present. Although she's getting a lot better with people, like just in general, she's doing better with them.
I mean, the thing is she's so small. That's the benefit of these small dogs is that, like, when Zero barks at Sharon because he really, for some reason, has decided Sharon is enemy number one, and she's one of my tiniest friends. So,
He doesn't like me either.
well, no, but you've not seen.
I'm
But
not seeing.
then he loves Aaron, my other friend. Like,
Mm.
he will like yell at Sharon and then crawl up on the couch with Aaron. It's
This is, yeah, this is how Penny is with a lot of um like some people, she just immediately is like, "Yep, you're great. I love you." And then some people, she's like, "Don't come near me or I'll murder you." It's becoming more of the friendly than the murder, which
well,
is
that's
nice.
good. I don't
Yeah.
know if she's really big enough to murder anybody.
No, but she thinks she is.
Well, that's fine. You know, I love a good healthy self-esteem.
Yeah.
So, guys, what here's my segue. What we're going to talk about is not animals because you know that Christy and I can go. We haven't talked to each other in a while, and we can really lean into that. Nobody editing this bitch.
I'm sorry, we can't afford it.
We can't. We can't. Not yet. Join our book group. We could afford Stuart. No, we could not.
We
Anyway,
could have.
no, sure can't. So the segue was is that we read Slaughterhouse Five by Kurt Vonnegut, and it was really, if I had to summarize it, talking, it's a lot summarized, but I would talk. It's a lot about the horrors of war,
Yeah.
essentially, and what happens to humans when they are forced to do this, i.e., to go to war.
Hmm.
And so I started talking about my grandparents. If you do the Patreon, you can hear. And Christy mentioned Hiroshima, and I have done a lot of work in conflict areas. I have been to Japan, but I've not been to Hiroshima. So I was really interested to hear more about that. But in
Hmm.
general, today we're going to talk about Christie's trip to Japan and specifically the religious elements. But selfishly, I also would like to hear about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I took just so for those who don't know, I took a bunch of students. It was a study abroad with the school that I'm at, and it was specifically tied to both an intro to humanities course and a course that focuses more on Eastern humanities. And so like obviously Japan fits into that. So I had the students like looking at art and talking about that. I had them read some Japanese literature, long stuff, but oh, Penny.
Speaking of,
You know, it's the murder bot. My neighbor has come home.
that bark definitely says murder.
She she's used to Ryan at least. So yeah, so we were looking at like those kinds of things. But I also, because I'm me, I had a section on there in there on both Shinto and Buddhism because those are the two main religions of Japan. And one of my students, so we had a like tour guide and a tour bus that we would ride around in. And there was another school that we were with. So like a total of 24 of us on this journey. And as you can imagine, like kind of spread throughout the bus. One of my students liked to sit in the front and he showed our tour guide one of my assignments, which was that they were supposed to have read about Shinto and Buddhism, and that they were supposed to talk about the ways that they could see both religions interacting um, and kind of the ways that they saw people practicing them. And this was all like unbeknownst to me, but I was excited about it because she ended up like deciding that she would give us a little bit of information about her experiences and how she understands these things, because she was like she told me later, she's like, your assignments are too hard, and I was like, they are college students, they should be hard.
It could be.
But so she told them, and so she was like, I'll just, I'll give you a little background. And so she explained how she understands both religions and talked a lot about the ways that Shinto informs like their daily lives. And so, connections to nature and the ways that they interact both with the world around them and with people in general, the kind of different rituals that they have that are derived from Shinto practices and stuff. And then she said, but Buddhism really helps with more of the kind of, she didn't use this term, but the more existential aspects of life, thinking about death or thinking about, like what is the bigger picture and things like that. And so she was really it was really great to hear because you hear these things or you read these things in academic studies about the ways that these two religions are practiced in tandem by a lot of Japanese people, and also the ways that they're not even really practiced as religions. And she emphasized this too, like this is just part of our lives. This is part of culture. But to have somebody talk about it coming from a place of just like, oh yeah, this is just like how I live my life was so fascinating. And then another one of our local tour guides also talked a lot about the ways that Shinto and Buddhism have affected him and how they teach him things like respect and loyalty, the ways that he understands like how he should behave, certain things, how they understand the Japanese government setup. He was talking about this as we were standing outside of the Imperial Palace, which still has the emperor and their family, and we can't go in or anything. So it was just like, oh, look, there it is, way back there.
And for a little bit of background too, not to interrupt you, but
Oh,
just
yeah,
to
please.
background is Shintoism was kind of the national religion, and you can stop me if I'm wrong, of Japan for quite a while, and then Buddhism started to come in. And Buddhism, if you've taken world religions, is a Dharma religion, so it originated in India and was kind of quite prolific in its going ons in Asia. It kind of spread
Hmm.
pretty quickly. And so it was seen for a while in Japan as being kind of a foreign religion. And so there's a lot of nationalism that's tied to Shintoism. And like
Yeah.
you said, it's very much about, what is it, the Kari or something, the
The
spirit?
kami, yeah, the gods, the kami are the gods, and they live in the world. They're not like elsewhere. Junko, our tour guide, talked about them as specific things, like they're in the foxes, in the trees,
Yeah.
like
And it's
in nature.
heavily ritualistic. Like there'd be like, it sort of does remind me of Hinduism in a way, because in India at least, because there'd be these little statues that people would like just on the street,
Hmm.
people would stop and like pray to them or leave a coin or something,
Yeah,
so, and it wasn't like they wouldn't be like, oh, that's a religious thing, it's just what they did.
yeah, yeah.
And so I feel like, although I've not seen it, it feels like Shinto is very akin to that. But during World War II, Shintoism really gets scapegoated, I would argue, for the goings on at like Pearl Harbor and the attacks and stuff. Well, just in general, Japan being in World War II, at least based on what I read. And so,
Yeah.
didn't the Americans try to eradicate it or something after World War II?
No, so like
Or
so
try to stifle it anyway.
there was definitely, it was part of the peace, or the surrender documents, that they had to reorganize what had happened. And what I talk about with my students when I'm teaching world religions, but also because like you said, we went to Hiroshima, we actually had a little mini lecture before we got to go look around the area and then go to the museum. So they also talked about a bit about this as well. But as we well know, there are often ways that governments will use religions to propagandize certain things and to
Mhm.
convince the populace that, either we need to kill certain people or we need to take over the world or, whatever.
Tell me more.
Yeah, like what I have never,
I am
uh
shocked. I am
and so
baffled.
Shintoism was, I would say, victim to this for a
Mm.
while. Like you said, it's the indigenous religion of Japan, and it was the national religion as well, especially during the most recent actual empire,
Mhm.
the Meiji Empire. Buddhism has been kind of like practiced openly, and then sometimes it's been like, no, you can't be Buddhist. And it's gone through some phases, but Shinto was really used as a like, this is why Japan has the right to take over. And when the man was giving us the lecture, or we were in a classroom.
That sounds like some bad theology, Christy.
It does sound like some bad theology. Yeah. I mean, it's really fascinating to look at this kind of thing and to think
Mm,
about what we're experiencing in certain
right.
areas, taking away Columbia's accreditation, etc. And he was talking about the ways that the Japanese believed that not only like they didn't know all of the things that were happening, the Japanese people didn't know all the things that their government was doing, but they also believed that they were supposed to take over the world because they were connected to the kami, who are the gods. The emperor is a descendant of the kami and therefore has like a supernatural right to do these things and all that.
My favorite part about that too, I'm just going to insert this one fact, is I love in their creation story that in most creation stories it's like God or gods created or whatever created the world, but in theirs it's just Mount Fuji and Japan.
Yeah, it's all about Japan. It's all like
I love it.
these
It's like
the islands. No,
nobody
they don't
else.
care about the rest of the world. The
Nope.
islands are gods and the sea
Yep.
is gods and they're just gods popping out of everywhere. There's a
Everywhere
video.
else is kind of a shrug emoji.
Yeah, they're like they don't ever talk about the rest of it. But so there had to be some like so there was some regulations put on Japan about what they were doing with Shinto, and they had to the surrender documents specifically say like the perversion of Shinto was used to commit some of these atrocities. But it's like I mean certainly a little bit of food for thought about the fact that other countries came in and were like you've ruined your own religion.
Hmm,
Um
hmm.
but now, like the way that he was talking about the way that our guide was talking about it, both of our guides were talking about it, it's very much still a very kind of this is how they understand their connection to things. It's dictating a lot of kind of regulation. There were tons of shrines. We went to a ton of shrines, but there were also lots of little ones. And you could find them like sandwiched between apartment buildings.
Yeah.
And like people could go and like you said throw coins, things like that. We did a couple of times. Our guide took us and like led us in a prayer to a kami, and so she would throw the coin and then you have to clap twice and bow twice and then you pray and then you bow again. There's a
There
lot
was
of ritual.
one shrine that was just a symbol, and it was because you have to get their attention.
Yes.
And I find this to be incredibly helpful if we had this in Christianity. It's just like anytime I'm feeling a bit down or whatever, I'm gonna just like clang some
Playing
cymbals.
cymbals, yeah. I mean,
Hey,
it was lovely. And then we went to a lot
get
of
out of here!
Buddhist temples as well. And when we were at the Buddhist temples, you're seeing a different kind of variation on these rituals. People still praying with incense. There were a lot of bowls of oranges that were
Yeah,
in front of the Buddhists or the Buddha statues and things like that. So you're seeing people genuinely practicing these religions amidst a bunch of tourists, which, if you and I have been to a bunch of cathedrals
I
of
was gonna
Europe,
say it's kind of much
it's
inside.
it's just what happens when you have a fancy religious place.
It's true.
Like everyone's like, "Ooh, fancy." But it was really, like I said, it was really interesting to hear them talk about the ways that this is like just part of their everyday lives. It was really fascinating to hear the man. He's the youngest survivor of the bomb. His mom was 4 months pregnant with him when the bomb went off, and so he was an in utero survivor. And he's like 80. He looks great. He's doing real well. But he talked about, the ways that the bomb going off kind of shattered things for the Japanese people, not just physically and like obviously in terms of a lot of lives, but also like idealistically, like realizing that they were not winning the war, realizing then obviously after their surrender, like what kinds of things had happened. And put up there, like obviously all of us are American, other people in the room were largely American. And he had put up like a bunch of questions that he gets asked a lot. And one of them was, do you hate Americans? And his answer was really, I thought, really thoughtful and very kind. But he said, firstly, we understand that it was war and that atrocities were committed on both sides. And I was like, this is accurate. Like, Japan was not fighting well, like ethically.
No,
Um,
atomic warfare.
an atomic bomb is certainly also a thing.
Nobody's falling in the just war category, which we
Yeah,
all
like we're not neither of us are good people in this, which I think was his point. Like we both did terrible things and but he said specifically that the point isn't to be mad or to place blame, but instead to fight for peace and
yeah,
to fight for this never happening again, which was the theme throughout. Like everywhere we went, there was a plaque in front of we saw a Buddha statue that had gotten damaged by the bomb. It was still there. I can put pictures up of some of these
yes,
things.
please.
But, like, you can kind of see it's better when you touch it, you can feel that the stone is much rougher than it should be, you know? There's a building that got destroyed that they left the way that it was destroyed, and it's large, you know, kind of well, there was a bunch of memorials and stuff, um, and then there's a statue that has a quote by the Pope, John Paul II, 3rd? I can't remember which John Paul. But it specifically is like, let's fight for this to never happen again. Like, if we're learning anything from this, it's that this is too far, that we should never have another Hiroshima or another war. That those are the kinds of things that the focus of the museum was. And
It happened
obviously it was
like that in Coventry because it got demolished during the
hmm
Blitz, during World War
hmm
II, and Coventry Cathedral got completely destroyed by bombs, and so they built a new Coventry Cathedral, but they left the remains.
yeah, I mean the remains, yeah, the ruins, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they left that as part of
Yeah.
the the architecture of the new building,
hmm
and you can go there. And, it is there's something about I'm not seeing what you've seen, but I've seen things like that, and there is something jarring because to be able to see it in real life and see the destruction,
Yeah.
um, does make you want to make it never happen again,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're it's just catastrophic.
It is. It's really a terrible, terrible thing to see, to really understand. I mean, it's one thing to have the knowledge that it happened, or even to see like, Oppenheimer or something like a movie that's talking about like that's one thing, but to actually go to the place. And I know I've heard people say this about like going to Auschwitz and some of the other camps in Eastern Europe is that like to see or like at the Holocaust Museum in DC. I don't know if you've ever been, but there's just a pile of shoes. And that I remember like you're walking through and you're looking at all of these things and it's all very terrible. But I remember at the pile of shoes, there were a lot of people just sobbing. And it was like, what is it about the pile of shoes that's getting us so much? But it's that kind of like realized
A
like
real
this was people. These were people that died.
Yeah,
This
I went
isn't statistics or something.
I went to Jena for a in Germany for a reconciliation conference a long while back. But anyway, we were at Dachau,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just leaning on this thing. Well, me and several people were just leaning, and the guy was like, "And that's the wagon where they took the bodies to the incinerator." And I was like, "And we're not gonna lean anymore."
Yeah.
My
Oh
God.
shit. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just when you actually, and probably to him, it's like he does this every day, and like
Yeah.
you know, probably like me being a chaplain, is it doesn't make the horrific less horrific. It's just that you get used to
You get a numbing.
or
Yeah.
horrific becomes your daily life. Like it's just
Yeah.
how you live. And so, but yeah, when you go and you see those places, there is just something like so jarring. And you realize too, and this goes back to our Slaughterhouse 5, is you realize how damaging it is. That's also a theme, is how damaging it is mentally to people and
hmm
that go to war and who experience war. It's like
Yep.
humans weren't meant to do this to each other.
No, this is not how we are meant to be. This is also not like it's not even just that we're not meant to be at war. I think that specifically modern warfare is an atrocity beyond, like obviously you and I both feel like let's just not have any wars. But I think that there's a
Vonnegut said, might as well do a
Might
book
as well do
on
an anti-glacier, yeah, but, like, I also I do think that there's something incredibly different in a very bad way about the fact that we're not fighting hand to hand anymore. It's not, like, fistfights or even, like, muskets. It's drones and bombs dropped without thinking or seeing the destruction, which I also think is something, like, online, the destruction that we can do to each other online, the
Google.
the bullying and the harassment and the negative comments because you can't see the person react. Ironically, actually, I remember this. It sticks out in my brain really specifically, but it was Louis C.K. who, like, ironic that it was him that was saying this, but he was talking about how,
I'm like,
like,
yeah. Ooh.
like he was on a talk show, I can't remember who it was, and he was saying like when we're online we can bully people and you just like get the happy like haha that was I got to bully them, but you don't see them being wounded, whereas like in person when you're mean to somebody you see them being wounded and then you have the right kind of empathy, like you're like, oh god, I've hurt this person, and then you don't want to do that again because you feel bad, but we don't have that when we're doing things from these like distant places, whether it's
And you don't have to see
online.
people as like you. You don't have to see people
Yeah,
as people. You can disconnect from
you
them.
can make them non-human,
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is why like it's important to highlight what's going on with like Gaza, but why aren't we highlighting it with the Sudan? And it's because we have done a really good job of just thinking that that's just what happens in Africa. Like
Mm.
Africa, like yep, that's just what happens. And we've like made that this, that commercial that you get where they're all like starving in these decrepit villages, and then when you show people videos of
It's not
people in
shocking
Africa,
anymore.
yeah,
It
it's not
doesn't
shocking
bother you.
anymore. We've completely dehumanized ourselves against a whole of a continent. And then you show people a video of Africa that has like internet and like cars and stuff, and people are like shocked because we think it's some entirely other thing. But yeah, like I think this is what I love traveling and I love seeing things, but I also think that these are the kinds of things that are so important,
Were you in the
not for fun,
Yeah,
you
not
know.
for education, but were you in the UK whenever there was the commercial? It was a grocery store that would always do like these heartfelt commercials at Christmas
Around
when
Christmas, yeah.
you knew they were coming.
Yeah.
What was the shop? I can't remember. Anyway,
We're both going to lose our UK status for
I
this.
really am. I felt like that the other day.
It wasn't
I said something in this podcast already that was a Britishism, so and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it was like the British and the I think Germans, and apparently this is a true story, but the commercial is about
during
they
World War One.
yeah, they stopped and during World War One, they stopped and they played on Christmas Eve
They
or
played
Christmas Day.
soccer.
They played soccer.
Yeah.
And they stopped killing each other. They picked teams. They were on different teams, and then they shared Marks and Spencers. No, no,
It wasn't Marks and
it
Spencer's.
wasn't. Stuart,
Was it?
Stuart, come here.
This is
We're
a true story.
each other, which
Yeah.
is what was the commercial? You're being recorded. What was the commercial that or what was the supermarket that had the commercial with the kids playing soccer? No, did they have the heartstring? Is it Sainsbury's?
It's that the commercials, they come out every Christmas and they're always like super heartwarming Christmas commercials.
And John Lewis.
John Lewis.
Yes.
It's John Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The one I think with
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's had the
Yeah.
one with the when they stopped to play football for the World War II or whatever.
What?
World War One, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Sainsbury's. Okay.
Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
our British reference of the day. We said we're about to lose our UK card. He said yeah, all of us. As he
No,
comes in
there's
and,
a
like,
there's a
court-
movie about this though, Leah. There's a movie. There's a
Is
whole
there?
movie.
Okay.
It's and I can't remember. I watched it with my parents this past Christmas, and then at the end, because I am such a nerd and I cannot
Y'all, I'm
not
not
know.
gonna say what she researched today at all, but she sure did research something that was I was like, why just you don't have to look up everything.
I do. I have to look up everything. Anyway, I looked it up, and apparently it happened in multiple locations,
Oh wow.
like a whole bunch of places. And what happened was that a bunch of the soldiers that were fighting, it was like World War One was the most horrific war. Like the stuff that was going on in the trenches was really, really terrible. A bunch of the soldiers got together and like declared peace for Christmas Eve. And then the officers who were not fighting, the ones who were back like sitting on their comfy couches in fancy buildings, the like high up ones, were
Right.
so mad about it that they broke up a bunch of the units that did this so that they wouldn't, because they were like, people are literally going to stop fighting this war because
That
they were
just shows
realizing
so
like
much, doesn't
we are the same and those assholes are not, and like we're not going
it?
to fight each other anymore. And this is what I also mean by like if you can see the person that you're about to kill with your eyes and you know that you're about to kill a human being,
Mhm.
but like the person that you're doing it for isn't you. It's some guy you've never met who's going to make $1 million off of it. Like, you're
They
much
convinced you
less likely,
right. They convinced you it's about patriotism or religion or freedom.
whatever. But you're all of a sudden, you're like faced with the fact that this is a human being. And I'm like, this is why we do war the way that we do it now, is because if you can't see them, you don't think about their human aspects. And like, you will be brainwashed into thinking, like, yeah, we have to kill all of those people because X, Y, and Z. When in reality, I mean, we are far closer to all of the people that we fight in wars than we are to the people who are like sending the people to war, like,
Yeah.
but I mean, we also talked about this in the book club. Neither of us are experts in just war theory, so we're not going to get into like,
Well, actually, I taught it at the university.
you did teach it. You know more than I do, but like,
Yeah. Well,
there's,
I mean, I did teach it. I did teach it and how it was created. But, it was a lot of Augustine and Aquinas, but it was really, in a way, it sometimes reads a little like they proof checked, proof texted,
yeah,
like they knew that war was existed. So they were
war
trying
is inevitable, so let's justify it.
to figure it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
And they didn't really, oh, shoot. Like a lot of this stuff is just like, and I know this because I created the bad theology criterion. It's
yeah,
arbitrary in its own way, but it's like people aren't dying because I created, like just war theory actually was used quite a bit in some of these elements, and some of it is, I love the conversation that happens at the end of Oppenheimer, if you remember, with
it's Einstein.
Oppenheimer and Einstein. Yeah, I want to put that up too. We're gonna just put up a lot of stuff. But he's just like, this is really bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Einstein's like, yeah,
Yep.
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 You used your knowledge to basically kill. I mean, how many people died in Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
I mean, it's a lot. I looked at this the other day when we were reading Slaughterhouse-Five, but now it's left in my brain. It's a lot, but also in New
Is it in the
Mexico where
millions
they did
or
the
in the millions?
No, I don't think it's in the million, but it's like multiple hundreds of thousands.
But like that man didn't go into physics or whatever to
Yeah,
kill.
no, to
None of us
kill
go into academic.
hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna do this to kill hundreds. And I mean, and you can tell he sees the future, and it's like once you let that cat out of the bag, you can't put it
Yeah.
back in. I mean, that's
I
it.
mean, honestly, so at the end of the museum, like you go through it, what we did first, so we had the little talk and then the talk, it wasn't little, it was like an hour long. And then we went on a tour around the epicenter. So we saw the bridge where the bridge was the target. And then we saw the buildings and we saw the Buddha and stuff. And then we came back to the museum and then he
The
sent
bridge
like,
was the target was an atomic bomb.
yeah, well they targeted the bridge.
Like surely the whole city's the target in an atomic bomb.
I mean, technically, yeah, but like where you're actually going to drop the thing, because it created a T, so it was easy to see from the air, was
I'm
what
with
he
you.
said.
Sorry, I thought you meant that just was the one thing they wanted to destroy.
Oh no, it was just like that's where they're going to drop it. But it's fine. I just decimated Penny's treat with my foot. It's
She's
in
not gonna
crumbs
eat it
everywhere.
anyway, so
She's not. I call it a treat. It's a supplement she's supposed to eat, but
oh, mm.
anyway, so at the end of the museum, there's like the gift shop, which was so awkward. And then there's this little area, and they have basically there's like a petition for peace that you can sign. And I looked over and I saw some of my students like writing something. So I went over to see it and I saw, oh, this is a petition for peace. And I was like, okay. I was like, sure. I mean, obvious, this is the least thing I could possibly do is to sign this petition, right? And so I'm signing it, and there's a couple of other students signing it. And then one of my students came up and he was like, I mean, this isn't going to do anything. And
Well,
I was like, that
okay.
doesn't mean we shouldn't try. Like
Uh,
it's not that's not a reason to not do things. Like even if you think that yeah, this is a long shot. Yeah, this is a very big hurdle to climb to get the world to stop going to war. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do something. And this is again the most minute thing that you could possibly do is to sign this petition in Hiroshima where you've just witnessed some of this stuff. So I mean, he did sign it, but it was just one of those moments where I was like,
I mean, he's probably not wrong, but it's also like it is it's symbolic, and you can do things like that. Maybe he's just like, I would rather go out and, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna do, but protest or do whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I think that's
Do
something
whatever
that
version of that you feel good about. I mean,
do as much as you can.
yeah,
Do the small things because you're never going to just do the big thing. Like if you don't do small things, the big thing is going to be way too big, right?
right,
So like do the small things and then when the big thing comes, you can also do the big thing. But
yeah,
the small things still matter, and it's saying something to somebody or calling your senator or
100%.
taking the Harvard Constitution class or reading a book that's been banned and
Calling
using your public
Tom
library.
Tillis every day and telling him if he wants a job in North Carolina, he better not sign that bill.
That damn
I mean,
bill. Yeah.
it's an arbitrary example, not
It's
specific at all.
yeah, not specific at all to anything that's happening right now. Yeah, but like it's those things. Like what is the thing that you can do and how can you do it? And then when that big thing comes along, it won't seem so big anymore because you've been practicing. And
We had that convo when I talked about the HRC, the Human Rights
mhm,
Campaign, and it was just like,
yeah,
I mean, that book's called Embodied Peace Building, with two
yeah,
kids standing in the ruins of a house that's been blown up,
mhm,
just playing with sticks because they're still kids. And it's like, do what you can do. I write books. Christy writes books. She teaches classes. We take kids abroad.
mhm.
Went to Japan. I went to Northern. You got to find the consumable thing that's in the world you
Yep.
live in, so you're not overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to do the thing that you can do and like find your talents. What are your talents? What are the things you're good at? Like
Right.
don't try to do the things you're not good at because that's just going to go badly anyway. But like do the things you're good at, do whatever you have access to do the
100%.
things. Cuz like at the end of the day, this is also it's so easy for us people who were not alive and who have been educated in a time that almost sadly not universally but like almost entirely agrees that the Holocaust was terrible and that atomic bomb was terrible and that, stuff that Japan did to China was terrible and et cetera, et cetera. Like Dresden was terrible. Like we can agree on those things because we weren't there and because we've been educated. But like there are things going on now. And are we gonna speak up about the things going on now? Like what are we gonna do so that in 80 years when our not our grandkids, other people's grandkids go to a museum, they don't have to be like, ah, we just keep doing the same shit over and over.
No, that's fair. I think
Um,
that's a good bow. You just tied that right. I
it
just
was
want to
great.
add in my one Japan fun fact. I went in 2002. Take your
Yeah.
mind back to 2002. I picked up a cell phone, or no, I saw a cell phone in a store, and I remember looking and I was like, "Oh my god.
Oh my God.
They have a camera in the
That would be, my mind would have blown right out of its head.
We weren't gonna
Um,
we weren't gonna get those till ages, but man, did they have it, and I was like, "That is an insane thing."
Look, I'm going to say it publicly right here and right now. I will never be happy again because I can't sit on another Japanese toilet seat. Like
I usually say what hurt you, but I wanna say what helped you.
they are amazing and it's everywhere. Like there were like essentially gas station bathrooms that we went to, which gas station bathrooms in the US are some of the worst experiences that you could have as a human being.
I would
And
rather
we
go
would
on the street.
we literally because we would be on the bus like one of our bus rides was like 4 hours, another one was like 3 hours, so like we had to stop at gas stations for bathrooms a few times, and even those they have fancy bidets and they're warm, they have blow dryers for your butt so to like blow your butt dry.
Which truly is the takeaway from this episode.
You know what?
Japan has it going on.
The
You
Japan
drive
toilets.
If you look at your car and it's in a Japanese car, just know that is just the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. I'm telling you,
Says
those
says the Hyundai driver.
I loved them. They were fantastic. The toilets were fantastic. I can't even tell you, but it
He's
was
like,
a
"Oh, I went to a country, I saw the things, but you know what?
you know what I'm coming back telling people about is the toilets. This is like when I went to Norway when I was in high school. I came back and I kept telling people about how because we stayed with host families,
Mm.
and our host family's bathroom had heated floor, and
Oh.
I would just it was June, but it was Norway, so it's cold AF, and I'm me, so I don't like to be cold. And I would just go in the bathroom and lay on the floor. And I came back and everyone's like, "How is Norway?" And I was like, "They have heated floors in their bathrooms." And people were like, "This is not what we expected you to say." So, in summary, I am easily impressed.
I mean, my takeaway from Tokyo was that they had phones with cameras. Like, woohoo. Anyway,
It was a good trip. It was fascinating. I am my Shinto section of my world religions class is definitely getting beefed up considerably, if by nothing else than pictures. I have a million pictures, so I will put some up on the Instagram.
along with
But
everything else.
along with everything else we've talked about. But go like the post for our book club or join the book club because I'm super excited for Parable of the Sower.
I'm too.
I saw you've already got it. I need to go get it. Yeah.
It's a hefty one, so it's gonna take a bit of time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
hefty as in page count.
Right.
Start early. Well, Christy, we're glad you're back.
Me too.
My husband at one stage was like, "When is Christy getting back again?" So he's glad you're back, keeping me entertained.
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
And maybe we get to podcast in real life when we come together. Probably not. We always say this every time,
We
and
say this every time. Someday it will happen.
sends into like
I
wine.
don't feel good about it because it's our birthdays, but we'll
Oh yeah, I
try.
know. Christy and I were born a day apart,
Hmm.
which is
It's
hilarious.
because we are twin flames born from the pits of hell.
We say it every time.
And God would like keep these two separate, and then we screwed that up.
And
So,
then our dogs have taken up the cause.
because those pure hearts are like, no.
All right,
All
guys.
right.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.